Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration expert. I am a self esteem development fanatic, starting with my own. I'm a big proponent and advocate for therapy. And our simple goal is to help you go further faster with less effort as it relates to your business. Your business is worth more than you think. Maybe that's something cool to type in the comments. Your business is worth more than you think. I want to welcome the Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce. The Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce is a part of Black History Month. We are now kicking off a partnership with the Atlanta Black Chamber. So big shout out to them. This is a good time for all the millionaires in the house to kind of shout yourself out. What city are you checking in from? Because this ain't just Atlanta checking in. I know we got people from all over the country. We got people from all over the world checking in. One cool thing I will say is that if you get our text message system, then you can participate in our Black History Month game show. Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. We've been doing a Black History Month game show. It's called Black to the Future. You can check out all kinds of real cool facts about Black history, which is really American history. So I just wanted to shout that out. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Come on in here. Come on in here. Let them know. Bring your folk, man. What's up, Kendra? Yeah, Greenville, South Carolina is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, welcome to the Atlanta Black Chamber. The Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce is in the house. Brooklyn, New York is up in here. My name is Haziq Ali. Some of you know, some of you don't. But you ever wished you had a crystal ball? Y'all know when you used to watch the movies and it would be this lady or even a dude, the dude would have on a turban, the lady would have on like this long like gypsy scarf and whatnot, and her whole play was to tell you the future, right? You ever wish that you could tell the future? You ever wish you had a crystal ball when you was preparing for a big play? Like maybe you're about to talk to a real big client. Maybe you're going through your chicken list. You about to talk to a prospect that you feel like could change everything. They have a lot of influence. You know that A list, right? All the influencers on your list, the ones you scared to talk to. And you just wish you could predict the future, right? Well, what I want you to think about this morning is that predicting the future is actually kind of easy if you got three things, right? Information about the prospect and their business, right? Two, the right questions. And then three, a vision for the future, a vision of the big picture, right? I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but having a crystal ball when it comes to being an entrepreneur is really just being aware. It's really just taking a real deep look at all the information that's available to you, right? So maybe you're reading, maybe you're looking through the existing magazines, posts, Facebook, blogs, magazines, Instagram. Maybe you're starting to ask powerful questions about who this person is and where they're coming from. Information that, if you understand it, will predict the future. Everybody with it? Everybody with it? Somebody say, my business is worth more than I think. Somebody say, my business is worth more than I think, and then give me a share. My business is worth more than I think. My business is worth more than I think. I'm telling you right now, you have a lot of money tied up in your business, and your ability to really look at it and separate it into these different elements that when you tweak them can change everything. There are three different places that you want to look if you're trying to have a crystal ball about your business. And that's the past, that's the present, and that's the future. If you look at all the elements of each one of these time periods, three is a real wild number, man. It's like, when you talk about time, space, matter, one can't exist without the other two, because at the end of the day, if there's no time, when did it happen? If there's no matter, what happened? If there's no place, if there's no space, where did it happen, right? All three of them have to interlink. I'm telling you, past, present, and future. I want you to kind of look at the past, the present, and the future of who this person is that you're talking to. And boom, you got a framework you can use anywhere you go. Somebody say past, present, and future. past, present, and future. If you just look at the past, present, and the future of where this prospect is, you'll be able to, this is a framework you can use anywhere you go. So what do I mean by past, present, future? First, let's talk about the past, right? What are some things that can help us if we know it about their past? Maybe there's experience, right, that has shaped how they're looking at you and your product or service. Your success and your failure is probably going to be based upon whatever they've already experienced, whatever's already transpired. So what's your job? Your job is to gather that historical information so you can understand the best way to communicate. That way they can be clear that, you know what you're looking to do, y'all? You know what's one of the most powerful ways to multiply your income? Somebody say the power to prescribe. The power to prescribe. That's an income multiplier. The power to prescribe. You hear me talk about it all the time, how doctors have the shortest sales cycle in all of business because it's the power to prescribe. You got me? You take that prescription, you go fill it. You don't ask the doctor how much. You don't ask the doctor about no side effects. The power to prescribe multiplies revenue. The power to prescribe is something you can give yourself when you decide that you're going to explore their past. Because when we walk into a doctor's office, we wouldn't feel as comfortable taking their prescription if they never found out what was going on with us, if they never did a diagnosis, if they never asked us anything about what was going on with our pain points. You got what I'm saying? So the reason you need to study that prospect's past is because you need to give yourself the power to prescribe. Let's just say I'm selling wigs, right? Before I sell the wig, I'm going to ask this client certain questions so that even if I already knew the answers, they understand that I understand their problem. I've given them a chance to speak on it. I've given them a chance to feel connected. You got what I'm saying to you? It's about giving yourself the power to prescribe. If I'm selling business credit, then what I'm doing is I'm exploring this business owner. I'm exploring what got them to where they are, right? So I can give myself the power to prescribe. They're not going to give me the power to prescribe unless I've taken my ability to explore, to research, to discover. You got me? What does their past look like? What are the issues you've already had? Huh? If I know your past, then now I can gain an understanding of the present and why this is so relevant to you. So maybe we review their original needs, right? Maybe we review how they bought and why they bought before, right? Maybe we review what they didn't like about what they got already. Maybe we review their personalities. Maybe we make sure we're connecting to them in their love language. Maybe we review how they make decisions. Maybe we review. Maybe we go through what problems already surfaced, right? And how they resolve those problems. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Somebody say the power to prescribe, because the next thing that you need is the present, right? Because the present is this current moment. It's fleeting. It's always another present, right? Nobody has time to do a lot of putting out fires, dealing with all this day-to-day minutia. Stephen Covey. Anybody read Seven Habits of Highly Effective People? We all know Dr. Stephen Covey, self-made billionaire, Dr. Stephen Covey, right? He talks about the difference between urgent and important, right? I think that's habit number 3, where you're supposed to put the first things first, right? That's the real path to success. And if you're able to get your prospect to see the important, then maybe you can get his mind off everything that he perceives as so urgent, but really ain't, right? Urgent is his situation. Important is your ability to communicate help. And here's a hint for you. You got to serve before you deserve. So what are you doing about the present? You're collecting information about what is working. You're collecting information about what's not working from the customer's point of view. And then you're sharing your expert perception of these problems. You're sharing your company's point of view about these issues. Am I making sense? So what you're doing is you're collecting information about the changes that have taken place in this person's company, right? How have these changes impacted the decision makers, right? How have these changes affected who they want to work with, who they've worked with in the past? How have these changes affected their new needs, right? So how do we do this? Are you reading the company literature? Are you studying their website? I mean, maybe you take it a step further and their industry has annual reports. Maybe you're reading a trade magazine they didn't even read yet. What can you do to become fluent in their company, fluent in their industry? You know, sometimes when I'm talking to truck drivers, I start because my company offers business credit, right? We have business credit, $50,000 funding guarantee, all of this stuff, right? Check it out. When I'm talking to truck drivers, because most truck drivers need business credit, whether they know it or not, I'm able to sprinkle the conversation with talk about, for instance, the ELD. What's the ELD? It's an electronic log device. What did it do to the trucking industry? It made it so they can't cheat on the timesheets, right? So now they can't split shifts. They can't do all of this stuff that they would do to hustle to make an extra dollar. Them ELDs done shut their game down. When I'm able to talk about that to the regular person, sounds like I'm talking hieroglyphics. To my prospect, it sounds like I am tuned directly in. And then they go, you kind of know your stuff. I don't know nothing. I know a little something, but I don't know nothing. I just know enough to because I'm studying. I'm looking at, you hear me? I'm listening. I'm asking questions. I'm tucking that in my notes so I can pull it out later. So now I'm able to share with them recent changes in the industry. I'm able to not just gather info about their experiences. I'm able to share experiences I've had that are relevant to them. I'm able to tell them now what the impact of these changes is going to be on their business, because I can tell them what's happened to other clients I got. I can tell them what's happened to other people I'm aware of, stories I've read or heard. You hear me? So now I'm able to share the changes that everybody's going through in real time, the impact, right? I'm starting to give myself the power to prescribe. Somebody say the power to prescribe. It's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself, is give yourself the power to prescribe. And then, of course, we talk about the future, because today, you know, our focus is how to be a fortune teller, right? People love to talk about their dreams. If you can get them going, they might verbalize how you possibly could fit into this dream. Past is important, right? Present is more important, but future is most important in this particular situation. The future is the one, because that's where you're going to develop and live and love this relationship. It's all happening in the future. But for you to understand what kind of vision y'all are headed towards, you need to listen, not talk. You need to know the path your prospect wants to walk. You need to understand where you are on their roadmap. You need to understand their vision so you can get with the program. Am I making sense? So what are you doing? You're asking about their specific vision for the future, right? You're asking about their specific needs. You're finding out their goals, right? You're finding out the big project they're working on for the year, right? You're finding out their specific plans for the achievement of this big vision. Ask all decision makers about their vision for the future. That's important. You know, that might be one to type in the comments, you know. Always ask decision makers about their future plans. Can I get you to commit to that? That's a jewel for you to jot down in your power book. You know, you ask the customer about what changes they've seen, you know, what they see coming down the pipeline, how it's going to impact them. Ask these questions, because the more of this info you gather, the more you feel like an expert to the next person you talk to from their same industry. Does that make sense? Somebody say information compounds. Information compounds. That's the power of you staying focused on one craft, focused on one skill, focused on one niche. I don't care what it focused on, one relationship. You start to gain the compounding power, right? You start to gain that eighth wonder of the world, compounding. You know, you can even take it a step further with the future part and share your own company's plans, share your vision for the future. Maybe you're going to help 1,000 people just like them to achieve a goal just like theirs in the next 12 months. Wow. Oh, you specialize in helping people like me. I can tell. You not just say it, but I hear it in your approach. I feel it in your awareness of what I'm going through, and you ain't even me, and yet you understand me. Wow. That's what this weekend's Kaizen Academy is all about, y'all, building rapport. One powerful way to build rapport with people, one powerful way to gain influence, I'll say, is make yourself an expert. If there are two different car shops and then one says we specialize in exotic cars and they throw a Mercedes logo on there, they throw a BMW logo, I'm going to pick the one that says they specialize in Mercedes. Now, do I know they specialize in Mercedes? No. All I know is that they're better at making signs. But something about it, we naturally get them. Do you understand? Do you understand what I just now shared with you? They've given themselves the power to prescribe. All I'm trying to say to you, y'all, is if you look at the past, the present, and the future of any company, of any prospect, of any client, you're going to start to see all these leverage points that were invisible to you at first, right? This is a basic fundamental, right? It's fundamental that you understand the past, the present, and the future from the customer's perspective. It's the only point of view that really matters if you're getting serious about being an entrepreneur. So now I'm looking at my crystal ball and I see big money in your future. If you're ready to chant it with me, let's do our affirmations. Was this helpful? Was this helpful? Scale of 1 to 10. Was this helpful? Did I get too granular? Was this helpful? Is this something you're really going to use? Is this a framework you can see taken into the future? This whole idea, no pun intended, this whole idea of looking at the past, the present, and the future. Is this something that you're going to go through and jot it in your notes? Maybe share it with somebody who's given you the gift of influence over their life? Right? Somebody needs this information. Scale of 1 to 10. How helpful was that? Was that good? All right, good stuff, K. Nicole. I'm glad to hear that. Good, Nathan. What's up, Nathan? Long time, Queen. Patreon. Is that how I pronounce your name? Good. All right. Okay, y'all, so it's affirmation time. Let's get it. This is where we kind of lock this information in. I tell them all the time, man, if you want to learn it fast, it's kind of like an acronym, FAST. Fast is join the Facebook group, which is called Entrepreneurishment. That's also the name of our newsletter, right? The A is for accountability. Tag an accountability partner on this training and hold them to creating a set of questions that deal with past, present, and future. And then they hold you accountable to the same thing. The S is subscribe. Right down there at the bottom, you see how you can subscribe to Millionaire Minded. And then the T is teach somebody something that you learn. This is how you lock it in if you really want to learn it fast. FAST. The Facebook group, an accountability partner, subscribe, and then teach somebody else what you learn. Everybody with me? Everybody with me? All right, let's get it. All right, millionaires, repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Let's go.